Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about 4K versus 1080p, which one you should be recording in, the benefits of each, and can you, the audience, really tell the difference between the two. So right off the bat, I have two clips playing. Both are shot on the Canon R5. One is in 4K and the other one is in 1080p. And personally, if you had to ask me, I would have no idea which one is shot in which resolution. Oh yeah, I'm not revealing the answer for those clips until the end, but don't worry, I'm gonna have a bunch of clips playing throughout this video, and we're gonna examine which one is 4K and which one is 1080p, and I'll obviously be revealing the answers for those. That clip I just wanna save until the end, until I'm done training you in the art of 4K versus 1080p. Now, why is this topic important? I think it's super important because a lot of people are actually deterred from making videos or starting YouTube channels because they're so worried about 4K. Like, oh my God, my camera can't shoot in 4K. I only have 1080p. No one's gonna watch my videos because they're not high quality enough. Well, I'm here to tell you today that that is the furthest thing from the truth. Okay, so let's pull up one of those examples that I promised you guys. So one of these clips is shot in 4K and the other one is shot in 1080p, once again on the Canon R5. And I'll give you guys 5 seconds to figure out which clip you think is shot in which resolution. Now, if you were able to tell the difference, then that's awesome. Congratulations, you definitely deserve a gold star. Me personally, I wasn't able to tell the difference between the two clips once I had rendered the video out, and the main reason for that is because most social media apps really compress your footage before putting it on their platform. And the whole reason they do that is so the video is easy to digest for their platforms and they can deliver to you, the viewer, in an efficient manner for them. Just think about it. You have so many YouTubers uploading so many videos every single day. They have to cut corners somewhere in order for all those uploads to be feasible. Now you might be asking, if my video is gonna get compressed from 4K down anyways, why don't I just post in 1080p? Now that's an excellent question. 4K does get compressed, but it doesn't get compressed all the way down to 1080p. So the quality is still better, but 4K does get more compressed than 1080p because the footage is just more difficult for YouTube or any social media app to digest. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at my video that I have, and I'll link it up somewhere up here on uploading high quality reels to Instagram, I actually downscale my footage to 1080p myself before uploading it to Instagram. And the whole reason for that is I just don't trust Instagram's compression algorithm to bring the footage down, so I'd rather just compress it myself and not let them ruin it. So if you're worried about people being able to see the quality difference between 4K and 1080p once it actually gets on these social media apps like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, don't worry too much because most people won't really be able to tell the actual difference. Okay, this is fun. So let's take a look at some more examples. Here's another clip also shot on the Canon R5. One is in 4K and one is in 1080p. And for these clips, it was probably pretty easy for you to figure out which one was shot in which resolution. Now, the reason for that is I zoomed in 400% on both of these clips. So obviously the 4K is going to hold up much better. But let's zoom out to 100% and bring those clips back onto screen. Now you'll notice that it's way harder for you to see the difference between the two and figure out which one is in 4K and which one is in 1080p. But if you're interested in sticking around to find out, this is the clip that was shot in 4K, and this is the one that was shot in 1080p. Now look, I shot all my YouTube videos for over a year on the Canon EOS RP, and yes, that camera is capable of shooting in 4K, but it has a significant crop. So I actually never used the 4K on that camera, and I shot everything in 1080p. And then in post, I actually upscaled that footage to 4K. Now, if you're wondering how that's even possible, that's a secret trick that a lot of YouTubers use to save themselves time. They'll record in 1080p, they'll create a 4K project in Premiere or Final Cut Pro or whatever, and then they'll put that footage into that board or project or whatever, and then that'll automatically upscale it to 4K when you export. So if that's a little handy trick that maybe helps you if you don't have access to 4K, I highly recommend that you use it. Now that I have the Canon R5 though, I shoot everything in 4K, but that requires me to make proxies and the editing time is just way longer, and it's a huge headache. The files are so much bigger and everything just takes way longer, to the point where sometimes I wonder, is it really worth it for this extra quality that only I'm probably going to notice at the end of the day. Now, I'm personally a stickler for these kind of things. I really value quality, so I'm probably gonna keep shooting in 4K, but if I stop, I bet no one would really be able to tell the difference. Also, the Canon R5 costs almost 5 times more than the Canon EOS RP, so quality 4K is also very expensive. Okay, so just to recap really quickly, 4K is really expensive. Most people won't know the difference. It takes much longer to edit, and social media apps compress the heck out of it. And the only benefit we have so far is that in 4K, you can crop in a lot more. Okay, so now to bring it back full circle, here are the 2 original clips that we showed at the beginning of this video. And now that you guys have been trained in the sacred art of 4K versus 1080p, you should probably be able to tell the difference. So let's bring those clips up. Okay, so hopefully you guys got that one right, and if you did, then that's awesome. And the whole reason I made this video was to hopefully inspire that future content creator, that future YouTuber who feels like they're being held back by their gear because 1080p isn't good enough. I'm here to tell you that it definitely is. Now, hopefully, as always, you guys learned something, and if you did, do the whole like thing, do the whole subscribe thing. It really helps me out, really helps out the channel. And that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, keep creating.